Yo!
I'm Chris.
And I'm Trav.
And we're
Fake Rich and Tired. So, today we are going to talk to you guys about what it is to be mismatched. Again. Because as you guys hopefully know already, this is another episode of Mismatched Monday. Right?
Yeah.
Alright. What we got for them?
We are going to talk about how we are mismatched in being an introvert and an extrovert.
And an extrovert.
And I don't know why people don't believe I'm an introvert. Do you think I'm an introvert?
I think so.
I think so too.
I know you. So.
I think when people see me out and stuff, they feel like, oh, you can't be an introvert. But they don't know it's because the mismatchedness that you pull me outside sometimes.
Yeah. I definitely feel like I'm an extrovert.
You are.
I believe that came out of being uncomfortable all the time. So
explain that.
I feel like at one point I was an introvert between not being comfortable around people, around a lot of people. I'd prefer to stay in my shell, stay home, like very little conversation. And over the course of time, a little bit of influence, I just kind of broke out of that shell and just been out ever since.
Yeah.
So
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
And I just I'm not a people-y person. I mean, I love people, the people that I love.
Just don't like all of them. Like all people.
No, it's the people that I love to be around. Like, I will go around them, but if we're going to like a festival or somewhere, it's just a bunch of people I don't know. I probably would seem uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's why we are mismatched, but we want to talk about how we deal with that.
Right.
And I think one of my biggest things with us being in that mismatched territory is how to deal with someone who's so extroverted. Like, we could be in the grocery store, we could be across the ocean, like wherever we are, he meets somebody and he will talk to them.
Oh yeah.
And I don't be wanting to talk, so I'll be sitting there like, oh my god, like here we go.
So for me, that is absolutely true. I meet somebody wherever we go. I could be riding a bus and random people would just start talking to me. Some of those conversations I might not necessarily want, but I really don't turn them down. I'm a talker.
Yeah.
But the way it affects me is there are some times where I feel like I'm making a connection that we could probably use, or just a vibe with great people. And once I see that your social meter has run low, I know we gotta go. So
social media always low.
Yes, but there's moments where you fill it up, or fill it enough to where we can go out to somewhere. We can go out to the club or some party, whatever. And it just, at some point, once I know it's low and you're showing the agitation, or you're showing your frustration or irritation, I know it's time to go. It's non-negotiable, because that attitude is gonna start coming out and showing to people, and I'd be like, nah, we gotta.
That's you don't always see when it's non-negotiable.
Not always.
Sometimes you will talk all night.
Yeah.
How does that affect you? Like, being with an introvert and you want to be out and be social and talk to everybody. Like, how does that affect you?
I mean, like I just said, like, we might have to shut stuff down early or whatever.
I mean, like beforehand. Like, do you think about, like, I know this might not be a great party because I know she don't want to be around these people. Like, do you plan it? Like, how does that go?
Sometimes there might be events that we're invited to, and I just won't even say nothing because I know how it's gonna end.
That's what I was trying to.
Yeah, I just won't even say nothing like, oh, we're gonna have to miss this one. And sometimes you'll catch wind of it, and you'll be like, he didn't tell me that. That's why. It's because more than likely you're either not gonna want to go or we're gonna go, and I know I'm gonna be turned, and you're gonna want to leave. So to keep us from going through that, I'll be like, nah, we'll be all right. We can miss this one. So sacrifices.
I guess.
Sacrifices.
I think the way it probably impacts me, besides just not wanting to be peoply and like you'll get peoply, like sometimes if we're together at an event and you start talking to people, if I know somebody else, I just walk off and go chill with them because like it's like I don't know these people and he talking, I don't want to do that, so I might walk off. But I think one of the other ways I think it impacts me is you don't care who you interact with.
Correct.
And I don't know if people, specifically women, understand that you will just talk to anybody. And you might be in a long conversation with somebody and she might think like you developing a whole relationship because y'all done had an hour-long conversation.
He knows my life.
Right. And I think that's one of the ways it might affect me is because I'm not going to say nothing, you know me, unless I feel like there's something said or done that may cross the line. You know me, I'll let you talk all night long because it don't impact me. But I think that others on the outside looking in will probably be like, and well, I know that others on the outside looking in will be like, Chris, you ain't see such and such out in trap face for the last hour or whatever. And like, so I think the way that impacts me is, should I be like, should I come over there and like request a drink or do something to be like, all right, you've been talking to this person for an hour. Like I don't want to feel like that person, but I'm wondering if there are some times that I should. I think that's one thing that affects me.
Okay. Yeah, that answer you'll have to get on your own. Like I can't tell you.
Do you ever feel like you may have had a conversation that went too long? Did you cut it off?
You mean like I need saving? Like, man, this
I guess you can call
talking
it that.
like,
or you felt like it may have crossed the line. Like they might feel like it's more to it, and maybe you got a sense of like, I think she might be taking this wrong. I might need to go outside and smoke with the boys or something like that.
Maybe years back, it probably was like that, but now more so than ever, I believe I will, like, if some stuff like that happen, like the wife card gets thrown out. It's like the trunk. You know what I mean? Like just.
And I get people all the time who come up and say, your husband been talking about you for the past hour. And that's probably another reason that I'm comfortable with just leaving it, because I get that. Like people will be like, oh my God, your husband told me so much about you. Or I've had people that have not even seen me, have talked to you at a party.
Right.
And like literally we had somebody tell him we were somewhere like, I know who your wife is and I'm going to take you to her, like just from you talking about her. And like she escorted you to me like, this your wife, ain't it? Right. So I think that helps me to be comfortable because I know that you are having those conversations. So that's probably part of why I'm comfortable leaving you in that space.
Right.
But I just wonder sometimes, should I be I see people do it. I'm just not that person, but I wonder if I should cut in like, hey, I'm the wife, how you doing? Like, I wonder if I should do that sometimes.
That's an answer that you would have to figure out for yourself.
And I'm probably not going to, because I'm an introvert.
I think to an extent, I can't remember what we were engaged in, and you made a comment like they pissing on a tree.
I don't remember.
This was literally yesterday. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
I remember the comment, but I remember.
You made the comment they pissing on a tree, and I think to an extent that's what that would be.
And it's just not me.
Yeah. Like I don't know. For me, I don't mind having conversations. I like knowing people. I like knowing things. I like talking to people. I'm a talker. So for me, it don't bother me. But in the event that something does bother you, I think you have an obligation to say it. You know what I mean? Like to sit in your feelings and not say anything would probably piss you off even more than
Right.
at least verbalizing it and us being able to have that discussion
Right.
to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. You know, let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
I just don't think it's been a time where I have been in my feelings about it. Like again, my whole thing is not like I feel like I am threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just wonder, do I not say something too much?
Mm.
Like, do I need to? Only because I don't say anything, and I see that people do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had my own friends be like, "You gonna see her over there all in his face?" And I'd be like, "She ain't really in his face. They just talking."
Mm-hmm.
So that's.
Yeah.
I don't feel threatened. I think if I've ever felt threatened by anybody, I've told you exactly who those people were and why.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Like
So,
I said, that's one you gotta come up with the answer with on your own and do it based on how you feel. You know? So I mean, for me, being with an introvert, I think there's some benefits to it as well. Sometimes if I'm too turned, and you know how I am, if I'm turned, I'll stay that way. And sometimes I need it to be dialed back.
right.
So taking those cues, whether it's your facial expression, whether it's the way you responded to a question or something like that, taking those cues, a lot of times I need that. You know what I mean? Like I might be overdoing it. I might be doing a little too much. So a lot of times I need that. So it works out for me. I also think if we were both extroverts, I mean, to the level that I am, it can go two ways. We'll probably always be turned and never get shit done, or we'll be super motivated, making hella connections, and you know, like you driving the path this way, I'm driving the path this way. We meet down at the end, and we can collected a whole bunch of connections. You know what I mean? But I also feel like in your own way, we still do that.
I'm networking a different
Yeah,
way.
we still do that. So I really don't have a drawback per se. You know, I think the drawback will more so be on your side because I can deal with all people, all of that, and you have a limited selection of people that you prefer to be around.
I think it does help me though. I think it helps me to get out of my space when I'm when I'm in that space. That's it. That's my space, and sometimes I need to be pulled out of that, and so we'll go to events and whatever to open up, and sometimes it might take a little bit of encouragement from me too. That's why I think some people don't think I'm an introvert because
Right.
I can open up, but usually it's from some peer pressure from you.
Yeah.
When I'm opening up.
That, or do I want to be the person sitting at the table alone? You know,
I don't think I ever sit alone.
you have to understand the metaphor.
Okay.
Like, even if you're being
Yes.
literal.
You know how I am with words.
And yeah, understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I get what
Do you want to be the girl sitting in the corner like the wallflower while the rest of the party is happening?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a part of what it is. So it's like, let me at least put myself in a space to where people can interact. You know, hopefully they don't, but I'm in a space to where they can. I've opened the availability up. So that's what I think it is anyway.
Okay.
So
I think that answers a lot. Tells how we have another mismatch that
Another mismatch.
keeps us matched.
Yes. I'm curious to know if any other couples are like that. One an introvert, the other is an extrovert. And if so, how do you guys deal with it? How, like, what, is there any quirks to you guys' relationship? Like I said, with us, I kind of read the cues, and I kind of know when I'm doing a little too much and stuff like that. So for you guys out there, if anybody's in that situation, what's some of the things that you guys deal with? Well, I think that about it.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Triad.
And
And
we're
we're Fake Rich and Tired.